Hey, party people. It's going to be story time for a minute. I find myself making videos here this morning in Glastonbury, Connecticut, in this plaza right on the East Hartford line. I'm 44 years old, and when I was about 8 or so, around the time my parents were splitting, my uncle brought me here. I don't know what we were doing, where we were going, but we had ice cream and we talked. And, you know, a lot of people in my family are amazing humans, but you gravitate towards certain people for whatever reason. And my uncle is a very sharp guy, very intelligent, and fun. you know, uh, we would go to his house. Right, it was funny because my siblings are very close in age. All three of us are very close in age to his three kids, and so we'd go there as kids, and my uncle would let us stay up late, probably playing cards with my dad, you know, and my cousin, and we played pitch and maybe some poker, and we got to stay up late and play cards, and that was so much fun, you know. And later on, he would have house projects, and I'd get to be included. I distinctly remember sanding ceilings and walls and Cape Cod, the drywall and the sheetrock and sanding and doing it manually. And today I'll go rip through a 1,300 square foot, space with a power sander in a few hours. And I was working pretty hard back then, but he taught me, quite a bit, and really taught me that I probably have no business in woodworking or other things because you got to spend time with it. But he was big on having something to do and having you know having a hobby or something other than uh, just work or whatever. So he made some very creative things. He made this wine rack that looked like a wave. It was very cool. Kind of wider at the bottom and narrow, and it curved. It looked like a wave. It was very awesome for wine. And we were together one time after he had made it, and we were in the Cape, and I looked. I was looking online because we were going to do some woodworking project together to make some stuff, and I forget if we were making the cutting boards that time or if I was fooling around with cups or what. But I found his wave wine rack on like Alibaba. They were like mass producing it, and they had his literal picture of his work on Alibaba advertising it. He had no knowledge of this, And I pulled it up and I showed it to him, and you could probably still find it today, I'd imagine, if you just kind of search for that sort of thing. But he just, didn't really have a reaction one way or the other. Um, One of the smartest guys I've ever met, and I probably might have mentioned this before, but in the '90s, right? My uncle, he had his probably his own computer consulting business at the time, and he had developed some type of software that would track all of the state's employees in real time. This is in the '90s, and he presented it to the state of Connecticut, I believe, and the state police for sure. And surprise, surprise, right? They didn't want to have all the emergency vehicles and the police and the fire trucks and the ambulances and everybody. They didn't want to be tracked in real time, or they just said no and they had their own thing, you know. Anyway, story time. I thought it was interesting. I'm here making videos and I'm not great at math. I don't know, 30 something years later, I'm here in the same spot. And yeah, family's good, people are good, and we probably should be taking a closer look at the people who are looking so closely at us.